Hi there. I did an awful lot of stuff in the ancient cities between Christmas and New Year's. This is just a little sample of some of the final, I guess, cities that I went to and what I was dealing with. I'm not going to put a whole lot in because it's very dark, and I'm going to have to go ahead and I'm going to raise up the brightness level as much as I can just to show that playing Decked Out and having watched it has made me not so afraid of the wardens anymore. I'll cut from here to getting to the ancient city because this is just a lot of digging, obviously. And here I am right above it. I always seem to manage to figure out exactly where I should dig. Even if I don't have the exact coordinates, usually I can predict where the ancient city is going to be. And here you can see I am just going through the ancient city. I had been learning how to perma-shift this entire time. Even when I'm walking on the wool, I have a tendency to do perma-shift now. Thank you, Decked Out and Tango Tech. Alright, I'm going to get to the good part here in a second. Well, I say good, but I guess the more exciting part. Alright, here I am shifting, but I am setting off shriekers left and right while shifting. I don't know if this is on Bedrock or what, but I should not be setting it off as I shift, so I think it must be the Swift Sneak that's causing that. I haven't tried to do that with Swift Sneak on Java Edition, but I am actually really angry right now because I know that I'm not going to have time to wait around, and I'm probably going to end up setting off a warden or bringing up a warden, and then I'm going to have to shift and get away from him and wait for him to dig back down. So I make a little hole. I go in about 21 or 22 blocks, enough that the sonic blast can't reach me. I'll show you. I'm going to fast forward through this part here. Okay, I have set everything off to the side. I've taken off all of my armor and everything. Now I'm shifting again. And while shifting, my movements do not set off the shriekers. However, as you will see in a moment, that's not the only thing that can set off shriekers. Here I've spotted a nice chest with a whole lot of sensors all over the place. I do a pretty good job of covering it up with the wool right here. I keep myself in there very well. I don't know why I do what I do after this, but you will see. I do not continue to be smart for the duration. And here we go. I have managed to upset the shriekers for a final time. And there's the warden. I do not take my finger off, my little finger off that shift button. Oh, well, actually, it's not the shift button on Bedrock. It's the right click. But what I mean by that is that I am crouching. And I stay crouching. And it doesn't matter how bright I make it. It's the darkness effect. And dude's following me and following me. And I think I can make it. I just have to keep running. Well, I say running, but I'm shifting. I'm crouching. I should say crouching. I'm just so used to saying shifting. I'm crouching all the way through here. Well, let's just give this a little bit of a speed up so that we can get to the part where I am saved. Here it comes. I hear it, and I see it, and I realize that that poor Enderman is doomed. But he has saved my life. And that's kind of how my experiences in the ancient cities went. I would just shift until a bat appeared, and then the warden would get distracted by the bat, or in this case, an Enderman. And I'd go hang out in my little cubby hole until the warden had dug down again. And hey, look, no more darkness effect. So with the brightness, you can see again. Woohoo! But that's basically how it went all week long. Just lots of shifting, lots of avoiding the wardens, and a lot of collection, and I'll show that next. And here I am, placing all of the shulker boxes full of stuff. And then I go through and I see there's nothing else left, and I begin the long, drawn-out process of organizing it. And here I've taken out all of the junk and I'm left with all of the really good stuff. I've taken out all of the stuff that really isn't very important, and now I've got all of the stuff left behind that is going to go into special storage. As you can see, an awful lot of potions, an awful lot of books, an awful lot of diamond horse armor, a lot of ward armor trims, and one silence armor trim. I basically went to, I think it was 5 ancient cities to find one silence armor trim. So yeah, it gets put into the diamond chest, along with the 4 ward and 12 enchanted golden apples. 12. And then I finally get some good discs to listen to instead of just the 2 that I've had from day 1. And a little bit later of putting another batch of junk away, I've got a whole bunch of pants. Lots and lots of pants, because that's all you get in the ancient city. Now, when they first introduced the ancient cities, you got a lot more than just pants. But now, you know, they've made it so that it's obvious that's what you're supposed to put the Swift Sneak on. Anyway, I've got plenty of diamond armor to last me years in this world, if I choose to stay in it. After organizing for quite a while, I decided to go do some archaeology digs. I started with the temples that I had been ignoring. I had already gotten all of the loot out of them. Well, for the most part, I got the loot out of them. After a few temples, I went to find the little, what are they called? Trail ruins. Yeah, I found one of them. And this was a pretty big one. Now, I knew that on Bedrock there was a big disconnect from where you see the top of the trail ruin to where the trail ruin actually begins. I kept that in mind as I was digging. But sure enough, with a little bit of digging, I did find the actual trail ruin. And it's from there that I spent a long time digging and brushing. And it's also right about here that I found out that you can put your rockets in your offhand as well. I can't put a whole lot in your offhand on Bedrock, but hey. And as you can see here, there's really not a whole lot of stuff that you can find inside of this structure that's real important. But if you want a complete collection of all of the armor trims like I tend to want, you will go ahead and you will do it. I am just stubborn that way. I also wanted to find the record, which I did. And after many hours, I was finally down to the bottom of the structure. I was still finding bits and pieces here and there. Sometimes it would be something good, and sometimes it would be yellow dye. And finally, after hours and hours, I flew on back to my little base. And I started the long, drawn-out process of organizing from that. So as you can see, all I did in this Bedrock world was go out collecting and sorting. Collecting and sorting. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed my holiday. I hope everyone else had a great holiday too. And I hope everyone has a happy new year.